Hi. No dramatic fanfare for the opening this time because I have made a catastrophic mistake. If you were familiar with last stream, the big crowning achievement of that stream was the construction of the brand new, slightly larger than normal railcraft boiler tank. And you know, I was proud of it. I was like, yeah, I solved my power problems. Now I just gotta build a few more coke ovens to fuel it. How much of a fool I was. We have no creosote anymore. All the coke ovens we have built together is not enough to power this. See, out of a sense of curiosity and be like, okay, maybe I can apply numbers to the situation. I was like, I'll go look up railcraft boilers in the Greg Tech context and see how much consumption. So I can do some math, figure out exactly how many coke ovens I need to fuel this thing. So I looked. And what I found was pretty devastating. Also, you may notice the consequences of my actions. I've made the railcraft boiler small again. And it's working again. But I went all the way to the Greg Tech New Horizons wiki for the explicit purpose of figuring out how exactly to do this. And they have an article on the lovely and convenient railcraft boiler and very convenient numbers values of what size boiler, what pressure tank, the size, fuel consumption, and all that good stuff. And it reinforces some of the knowledge that I gained already, such as a 1x1x1 railcraft high-pressure tank fueled by whatever. It doesn't actually matter. In the case of using coke ovens to make charcoal and creosote, it doesn't actually matter whether it's a solid or liquid. If you're using one of those two fuels, it's the exact same ratio. Which is great, which means my one solid, one liquid thing was guaranteed to work so long as one of them was being fueled. Good intel. But what I learned was that, well, first off, to solidify my own information, the proper ratio for consumption of a single high-pressure boiler tank fueled by one of these things with coke ovens is slightly less than 2, which is corroborated anecdotally by me by the fact that these two were just enough to break even, but not really stockpile anything beyond that, which makes sense. So, with a single high-pressure tank, it was slightly less than 2 coke ovens to fuel it. I have in my literal possession the coke oven brick quantity required to make 5 coke ovens. Do you want to know how many coke ovens we needed, or we would have needed, to fuel that 2x2x2 monstrosity? $14. We would have needed 14 coke ovens to fuel that thing. Oh, we were never gonna do it. It was never gonna happen. Okay. So, what I've decided to do is I've decided to completely cancel our grand new design. I know it doesn't feel big in Greg Tech numbers, but it just shows the level of unpreparedness I was for this. We need 14 of these massive 3x3 assemblies to power one super tank. And on one hand, that's exciting because it means that the moment I have enough coke ovens to do that, I will basically solve Steam forever, and that will be cool. But for right now, it means that we cannot power that. It's not possible. So what I've decided to do is we're going to go to a sort of compromise solution. Right now, I'm running a single liquid-fueled boiler, and I'm going to build a fourth coke oven out of the ovens here, and we're going to move to a 2 liquid firebox, 2 solid firebox double play of boilers. Nothing particularly complicated, all things considered. Just like put down another one, do that. And then once we have a fourth coke oven, we will be able to fuel it. I mean, technically we can't because we need the pumps and stuff. So that's gonna be today's big objective. Solving the mistakes of our past. I've also decided that we're gonna maybe separate the tanks a little bit here. Because we basically need to go back to the solid fuel system for a little bit. Like the hybrid. Now, in theory, what we could do is we could have 2 liquid, 2 solid. Once we get that fourth one ready. So right now, my big thing is I'm just going to try and reorganize everything. Get the steam where it needs to go. Kind of put the boilers closer to where they're consuming because that's easier. I'm going to send over a pipe to just go into here directly. Okay, there's water. We're good. I was worried it was about to explode. But yeah, today is dedicated to the art of disaster mitigation. Also making more steel, as always. I'm gonna do it like this. Then I suppose we can simply move the chest out of the way. And there. Given this system, we will have plenty of solid fuel, decent creosote, the steam. We're basically back to where we started at the start of yesterday. Which is bad, but necessary. At the very least, our shenanigans has brought us a decent backlog of charcoal from our foolish adventures, so we can at least rest easy knowing that we'll be making steel at a constant rate of 3 per minute for the foreseeable future. Actually, scratch that. In a little while, we'll swap it out for more cactus coke, I guess. Oh, dang, that's backlogged a lot. Okay, so let's remember how to make a coke oven. I'm still a little rattled due to everything that happened. We compress coke oven brick. We don't actually need to compress it in a compressor. I can just craft it for free. Which means that all we need is 1 clay and 1 sand to make 2 coke oven brick. Let's just get an arbitrarily large amount of those. Not even that difficult to do. There's the clay. I'm sure we can find some sand out here. There's like a whole desert. Here we are. We don't need this ink. Now, we have 11 coke oven brick already. So, I would say we only need like 15 more. So, let's say 30 of each is sufficient. And we have that. Actually, 32 of each. Perfect. So we'll go to our alloy smelter, and this will be just the only thing we do. All of the grand production, all the processing we had before, it's done. We can't do it. It's impossible. Not to mention, this, like, chamber area is going to be an absolute mess of pipes. It's not going well. It's not going well for us. Oh, hey, we got stuff in there. Okay, alloy smelter. I've messed around with the pipework a lot. Are they still connected? They are still connected. That's good. Remove that for the aesthetic appeal. Let's just make a stack of coke oven brick, put them together, make a 4th coke oven, put it there. Or maybe we should move this entire thing. We should start treating the coke ovens as like one big factory. But the other thing we'll need for this is more pumps, because there's no other easy way to perpetually get the creosote out of there aside from putting a pump here and just extracting it. There's no like auto output liquid button. Understandable, really, considering this is from Railcraft, not Greg Tech Direct. That means we're going to need pumps. And how do we make a pump? We're going to need at minimum 2. In the future, we'll probably need a lot for all the coke ovens, because I do want to make that 2x2 eventually. So let's see here. It's just some tin, some rubber, and some tin. Well, okay. Can't really work on the rubber right now, but how about the motor step of the process? Tin, tin, iron, 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 magnetized. The standard affair. We can do that, so let's do that. Got any tin cable left? Yes, we do. Let's see if we can't purchase some tin cable real quickly. We are poor on technician coins. Maybe we can redeem some quests. These are all 10 technician. Now, I mean, that's good, but we don't have the means to disassemble them. Like, that would be money right there, but we don't have an assembler. So we have to look for technician coins elsewhere, like here. And there. Maybe this one. Actually, this one seems good. It's just do melon. There we go. Free melon smoothie. There's our coins. Now we just need 15 more. Ooh, blueberry smoothie. Fantastic. Alright, those are 30 coins. Let's go buy something. Go to coins. Got tin cable. Now let's craft some motors. Things we'll need for motors, and we'll make motors in here because it's already got the recipe involved. Tin cable, copper wire, check. We've got some iron rods. Would like to have more. Let's get the full gamut of 6. Put them in the lathe. Let that burn through. Fear that our steam supply is abysmal. It is. But everything's working now. And we're pulling back. Yeah, we're bringing it back. We're saving it. Now, according to my research, we could also just make low pressure boiler tanks. They're a lot less efficient on the steam they produce, but they also take less they take less fuel. And that might be like the proper balance we need. Results uncertain. Also, hi Thega. You are in the midst of witnessing a disaster being rectified to the best of my ability. But the best of my ability is not very good right now. I'm kind of panicking. Okay, focus. Stick to the fundamentals. Fundamentals, in this case, involve, but are not limited to, we are making motors. We are making pumps so that the 3rd and 4th coke ovens can fuel another boiler. That's fun. What is that emote anyway? Oh, it's a piñata. Okay. It's really small for me. So when I look at it and just see the random vague contours of like a blue dot surrounded by some red and yellow, I think of like the Time Wizard from Yu-Gi-Oh! Which is a very odd and specific thing to think of, but it's the Time Wizard for me. At least as it appears in the Twitch official chat, that works. On screen, it's just a square, obviously. Okay. A motor. Another motor. We can polarize a 3rd thing for a 3rd motor. Take a nap. I feel very well rested for some reason. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? It's so weird. Okay. We're now the proud owner of 3 motors. Now we've got to turn them into a pump. Okay, rubber rings. It's running locally. It takes too much effort to run it on a server unless I have specific plans for it to be run on a server. Okay, let's put 3 fluid pipe in there. That'll be our heart of the operation. Wrench, screwdriver are free. So we need 6 rubber sheets, which is 12 rubber bars. Yeah, it makes backups. Well, actually, I guess it's just weird for somebody to be playing locally and not on a server, because I think most people play on a server. But I am playing locally, and it does indeed say that, and will continue to say that today, at approximately 30-minute intervals. Oh. In rotor. That's going to be 4 tin plate, 1 tin ring, 1 tin screw. Okay. Sounds to me like we're going to need some tin. Is this enough? But we need 1 more. Dump it. Success. All right, now how the heck are we setting this up now? We're going to need 1 more hopper, I guess. And 1, 2 pumps. And I want to move these somewhere else. Okay. Things went bad last stream. I dedicated everything to the making that boiler bigger, and it consumed so much fuel from these coke ovens that it just wrung them dry and shut down the entire factory. But like the consequences of my actions only appeared off stream. So we emerge here in the consequences of a factory completely destroyed. I'm gonna need to fuel a 2x2 of that 14 of these things. I only have 5. 6 now. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to build 2 tiny ones and go from there. Am I? I have 4 dedicated to this. No. Stick to the current plan. What am I doing here? Why'd I go over here? Tin. Yes. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ring. Screws. Then the rubber. Okay. That's the rubber. We make 12 tin plate, and then once that's done, we'll make 6 rods out of here. Okay, you're making the rubber. I think that thing makes rubber in packs of 20-ish when you put in a full thing like that. I would have hoped that I had spare rubber around, but I think I've been burning through it mostly. This is a grand disaster. I'm gonna have to move either the smeltery or the fire or the blast furnaces. Any rubber in here? Wait, is there rubber in the... No. What about here? No. What about there? No. Somehow I am simply out of rubber. I suppose it's not that big of a surprise. And this is taking a while. Fine, we'll focus on the tin. Okay, the plates are done. Let's lathe some rods. Is your internet suddenly amazing? If so, congratulations. I know you worked very hard for it. But also, I'm confident it'll break soon enough. Don't you worry, it'll be back to normal before you know it. Hmm. So this is 5. Oh, I'm out of... I need 1 more sulfur. Awkward situation where I have plenty of sulfur, but no rubber dust. Maybe I should start extracting more. Maybe I should... put these in. Yeah, let's get like I believe these extract to 4, so let's extract some of the green slime into slime balls, and then extract those for more rubber, as is the nature of it. Wait a minute. We have glue production. Because we have the giant heck off mixer. Well, Not mixer, centrifuge, separator. We have this. We can make more than simply rubber. We can make rubber and glue. Isn't that wild? All right, so we want these to be rubber rings. And go in here. We're gonna have to borrow the wrench and screwdriver from this assembly. Put it into... I just moved it downward slightly instead of actually taking it. Put them in there. Now we need is the tin rotor and screws. Fortunately, the materials we need for that are almost ready to go. Let's start with the... Is there a better way to make a tin ring? Fluid solidifier, extruder? No, it is simply hammer, file the rod. Okay. Hammer, file the rod. Next up is the screws, and that's easy. Just saw this boyo in half. Then we'll get 6 bolts. We put a bolts in the lathe again, and then they will turn into screws, because the lathe has carved a spiral on them. Now we can go over here, put like 3 of them there, put 3 of them there, put 3 of them around here, forget exactly what we need, so use the recipe. We're missing the screwdriver because I put it over here. Driver, file, hammer, 3 tin rotor. Excellent. Now the screwdriver can go back in this container. We have the 3 rotors. What else do we need? The screws. Fortunately, those are real and I have them. Put them in there. Take out the gypsum for a moment. Make 3 pumps. Put the gypsum back. Wrench and screwdriver. Put them back in our wrench and screwdriver compartment. Over there, please. Thank you. All right, we now have 3 pumps. We did not technically need the 3rd, but we have it. And now we can, with relative ease... Nope, wait. Forgot a step. We need to procure a new hopper. Why am I hiding all the iron for myself? Really, I am my greatest antagonist. My inventory management is abysmal, and I really need to find a time to just stop, step back, and fix it. To confirm the recipe for a hopper real quick, it is, oh right, the gear. Well, 5 plate, 9 plate, 4 rod. 9 plate, 4 rod. They really don't let you get away with easy logistics, huh? And if you're wondering why I'm making the gear by hand, it's because it takes forever and is a pain. Hope that answers your question. Go through. While that's going through, let's make a chest. We need that. It's an important part of the recipe. Fortunately, my past poor decisions have made this step particularly simple. That's awkward. Nothing too restrictive, though. In there, rods are ready. We just got a refresh on the tin cable quest I'm not doing right now. Put the 5 plates here. Just goes there. I assume it's a hammer. Oh, it was hammer and file. My mistake. There we go. All right, now let's just tear the system down. Everything not part of the system or its teardown can go in here temporarily. Paper, the tree, the dust, the pipes around, keep the food around, keep this small pile of tin around. I'm not actually doing that. Okay, so my plan for the coke ovens is to simply throw them underground. Doing this will completely shut down. No, you can. It's absolutely fine. I enjoy exposition. And it also helps me, like, verbally express my inner thoughts, which helps try and resolve any problems that might happen. It's like rubber duck programming, where you program by talking to a rubber duck to explain why you're having a problem, and then by speaking it out loud, you solve it. Okay, let's... Well, condolences to the factory's production, but it is time for us to break everything. I think I might just use the regular pickaxe for this. Take our time. That's the correct amount. Go from the top. Ooh, this will be good. Waiting on your questions, by the way. If you had a specific one in mind at the moment. And also respecting that the latency will exist, so I will simply say what question I'm answering before I answer it. All right, if you figure out what it was. Okay, quick sanity check that I actually have all of the parts of the coke oven, though I can already tell I don't. Let's see here. 26. 26. 26 and 25. We are one short. Now, where did it go? Those are indeed two small steam boilers. They are fueled by creosote. There are two elements to a boiler in this system. One is the type of tank you're using and the type of boiler you're using. I'm using high pressure boiler tanks, which provide more efficient steam, but only if they're like at full temperature, which means they're better for long duration use instead of like burst steam production. And I'm using liquid fuel boilers, which means they're fueled by creosote or other liquid fuels instead of something like coal. All right, buddy, where the heck did that last coke oven thing go? Don't tell me it's gone for good. Not that hopper, not that hopper, not that hopper. The hoppers wouldn't have transported it elsewhere, would they? It could have fallen into the lava of the blast furnace, maybe? Hit a hot pipe and died? No, those live. Okay. I guess I'm gonna need another. They are not better... Okay, are they better than one big steam boiler? They are not better than one big steam boiler. But one big steam boiler requires so much fuel that I can't afford to run one big steam boiler. Now, granted, the amount of steam you get per fuel is phenomenal in a large steam boiler, but the literal fuel requirement is more than I can afford. I need one sand and one clay to desperately make a replacement coke oven brick real quick. There's a sand. There's a clay. Let's hope the network just has enough steam in it to do this. That's the boiler looking. Okay, it's still got fuel. I'm basically on a time limit right now. Alright, we're good. That'll replace the one I mysteriously lost. Now, where to put these? I remember we accidentally made a basement last time, and I feel like we can just put them in there. Just this nice little chamber underneath the house. Nice and good. Easily accessible. Home of logistics. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. One down. Oh. Also, my plan is to, for these four, to just separate them by one space in like a square. I want to keep the area low. Okay, next question. Could one not theoretically just have a farm of just sheep, chow, and chicken, and it would be enough to keep the nutrition value okay-ish? Probably. Okay, well, the nutrition value is based on the exact food you eat, giving diminishing returns over time. Like if I ate like the same sandwich repeatedly, it will rapidly start having diminishing nutritional returns after eating it about twice in the last 30-ish consumptions. Sorry, in the last 20. So if I eat 3 sandwiches, the 4th sandwich will give me like 75% nutrition, which is to say 75% of the bar of hunger being filled. So if you had sheep, cow, and chicken, if you're just eating the sheep, cow, and chicken meat, that would eventually incur diminishing returns because, assuming 3 of each, that's only like 9 out of 20 foods. So more important is that you're preparing the materials in different ways. Hence why I have sandwiches, but I also have like large sandwiches and the occasional burger. And I focused what I've made on things that individually have a lot of nutritional value to them and just eat them sparingly. Go one more forward here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Here's the next one will go. Now you could have that farm of sheep, cow, and chicken take the meats, but then do different things with the meats. Like some of them you eat raw, some of them you put in the sandwiches. But there are not that many major quality food options. So the typical system, or at least the system I have, is I have a few major foods, like the large veggie sandwich and the chicken pot pie, which I then intersperse with just eating like 20 tomato slices in a row. Just to reset the diminishing return nutrition. Eventually, I'll have a whole food fact. I mean, yes, but the system cheats me by making it harder than the regular game. This is Greg Tech New Horizons. Cheating it is basically the objective. I'm getting my square meals, so the game can't really complain that much. Okay, here is our 4 coke ovens that shall be dedicated exclusively to powering our boilers, as opposed to the ones outside, which are currently dedicated to making cactus coke. Next, we need to deal with the logistics of this. There are 2 parts to the logistics of this. Part 1 is getting the log input into the individual ovens themselves. And that's actually quite easy. I'm going to put a centralized chest, and it's easy because we have exactly 4. I should clarify. So, here's where the chest will go. Well, no, this is where the hopper is right now. The hopper will go into 4 item pipes. Oh, that'll be later. The only thing that's producing major pollution right now is the blast furnaces, but I only have 2. We'll get to the colorless wasteland later. Okay, so item pipe there, item pipe here, item pipe there. Like we're in the early steam age, minor electric. We got a long way to go before we're just polluting the entire universe. And one for up. Okay. So now, if we put logs in there, they will be distributed evenly, hopefully, to these 4 coke ovens, and they will make charcoal and creosote. Coincidentally enough, we are really just doing this, but again, over here. So put that there. Hi, Capra. Oh, that one's a small tin item pipe, huh? And boom. Nice. Okay, so large chest, we put in our logs. They are getting distributed. Yep, there's one there. There's one there. Be advised, the hopper is extremely slow for item transportation. But for something like this, it's fine. Okay, you can't cancel it like that. Okay. It also doesn't matter in the long run because once these fill up, they'll distribute. And I'm planning on running at surplus. So it'll be fine. Get a lovely little surplus of stuff. Bunch of more log. Right, that makes sense. Most of the logs in that thing. Okay, it won't let me pick up a hopper with the dolly. I don't really care, though. We're going to need to rip up all of this, because this is the old pipework for this. But what's important is that we can put the logs in here, and we can start to see it backing up more. Okay, so first charcoal's made. We already got like 10 in here, so that's an excellent sign for our capacity. Now it's just a matter of the output. Let's collect the materials we need for the output. Let's put these cool stairs here for style. Big hole in our roof. Okay. The output system is 2 parts. Creosote and charcoal. I should remove these. Where's my crowbar? There's my crowbar. So, like normal Minecraft, we can use hoppers to remove items from the coke oven and place them how we wish. Unlike normal Minecraft, we need a way to do this for liquids as well. The standard way to do this in GregTech is with the pumps. You put a pump on a pipe, and then you can set that pump to extract the liquids from whatever you're doing. Would there be a possibility to save the amount of pog points that have been put into the expand reward, as in the reward not being reset to 1? Yes? I could very much just turn off the thing that resets the pog point value. That just seems a little extreme. Because in one stream it'll get to like 2048 or so. And then what? It's just a monster at that point. And then you grind. Okay, Okay, that is an absurd notion. I like it. It kind of reminds me of the old thing. Wait a minute. Question. Okay, I thought there was like a weird chance the coke oven was somewhere physically in this pipe. The one we lost. Doesn't seem to be the case, though. Okay, let me just check my pipe works real quick. Water tank siding is there. This is the creosote pipe. We'll take this with us. Okay. Ooh, we could pipe the creosote to the bottom. I'm a genius. But anyway. Extraction of stuff is going to be very similar to input for items. We'll make these 4 tin item pipes. And they gotta be tin, otherwise they're not item pipes, they'd be fluid pipes. Yeah, depending on the material you make the pipe out of, it'll either be for fluids or items. Most are for fluids. Some are for items. Tin is like the only one we have for items for a while, but also it's completely sufficient for items, given that it's like 8 stack, like a stack per second, or I don't remember the stat. Yeah, 1 stack per 8 second. That's like 8 items per second. That's fine. For this, low volume production of charcoal, I'm completely okay with that. Oh, wrong one. There we go. And then one here. One here. Excellent. As for the liquid component of this, I think it's going to be even easier. Check this out. Bonk. 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 Oh, we're bonking our head on that, are we? Do that. Do that. Do that. Now, we take 4 of our 5 pumps, put one there, one there, one there, one there, and then we... no? Do I empty hand this? Maybe with the pump again? Drop that for a second. Okay, shift right click with nothing. We want import output blocking. Import output blocking. Import output blocking. And import output blocking. So now all the creosote are coming from the pipes into this tube. And our objective from there is to simply move on. Okay, 1, technically yes. 2, that isn't really how you, like, brag. Like, okay, like, I've spoken about this before in, like, a cultural lesson on, like, computer virus terminology, but, like, okay, think about your... Okay, think about, like, computers and, like, supercomputers and, like, the whole big family of, like, big technological things that are seen as being strong, but, like, because it's a massive computer. Those computers, with their processing and technology, aren't impressive because they're so clever, cool algorithms and stuff. They're powerful because they're big. They're just large. You put a lot of computers in a room, it's not surprising that they can compute a lot of numbers. So, if you want to be a quote-unquote intellectual in a world where processing power is simply, just put more volume on it, then more processing power isn't actually how that becomes impressive. How it becomes impressive is being able to do good, efficient thinking and work with as little resources as possible by having the algorithms and the thoughts be efficient, not by just brute forcing it with more processing RAM and CPU cycles, but with cleverness. So typically what you do is you acquire as much processing as you need to sort of operate at sort of a normal level, and then you just focus on being smarter with that. Like, Skynet had to take over the entire planet in order to become smart enough to wage a war. That's kind of pathetic, if you think about it from where I'm standing. Kind of makes him look like an idiot. And you look at, like, AI research in the modern day, it's not about, like, getting the most computation by building a bigger computer. It's about making more efficient learning algorithms and stuff to train something faster because it's a smarter, more clever way to train something. That's how you make smart. This all sort of wraps around to this, like, more abstract notion that if you're at, like, a reasonable human-esque level of thought, it's more impressive as a computer virus if you're smaller than someone else. And so you'll see a lot of, like, computer viruses in culture, I assume, be more interested in bulking down in a way. It's why I'm extremely happy to just be a little guy on, like, a Celis stream where I'm just on the shoulder. It appeals to the computer virus nature to be, like, efficient. All right, we got items. We've got creosote. Now we just have to connect these to the appropriate boilers. I can move some of the boilers over here, but what I think I want to do, because it looks like we're at the perfect altitude for this, is we bank to the right, go under the tank siding, and then we'll have, like, 3 parallel lines. One with water fueling the boilers in this, like, line going across, and then the fuels for each as we want them. I'm already really excited about how this is going. This is looking cool already. I feel organized. I'm going to start with the liquid-fueled boilers, because I have 2 of them already, and I don't need to make a third. Because this pipe's on top, and once I'm finished connecting those, then this pipe can not be obstructed turning up. And also because I don't have any more tin item pipes. That's 3 solid reasons. going. So the siding tank pipe can move down here. Yeah, okay. I'm going to optimize the water so it goes directly into the pipes, and the pipes will be lined up here. Well, the tanks will. So boiler 1. Boiler. I could move these back, but there's no real benefit to moving them back other than saving a little bit of pipe on this. And I can solve that by just moving the pipes to this wall. Yeah, okay. So creosote 1, creosote 2, coal 1, coal 2. I'm going to have to move the fire break box anyway, because when I make my 4th, it's going to cut into the smeltery anyway. So these have to move. Yeah, you see? Well, it's a complicated and interesting place. You know, that boiler continues to work because I just have a lot of coal around. Maybe I should, for the time being, still pipe charcoal into it. Spare charcoal away, thank you very much. Pick these up. Dump them in the ocean. Polluting. Let's keep the... Okay, ditch the item pipe, because I'll just put coal in anyway. This doesn't burn through coal fast. Charcoal. Fill that up, let it keep going, and make sure the water is still... Whoa, 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 whoa! We're good. Okay. It would appear that the water pipe accidentally merged with the steam pipe. And because steam is hotter than the wood can handle, the steam combined with the water to make more steam. And also, the wooden steam pipes caught on fire. Thank goodness nothing exploded. And system's still looking alright. Good. Alright, vent water back in there. I can manually fill this with some creosote from the cactus farm. Like, how much creosote's in you? 18? 17 now. That's good for now. I'm actually quite close to this being ready to go. Yeah, ditch these. I'll move the pipes over 2 further along. Actually, 3 further along, because then I can just snake under. Let's clear this. Okay, doot. And that's enough. 1, 2. And with that, at least the creosote part of this is back to being operational. And then let's start dragging out the item type portion of this. We're going to need to do more work on our end in order to get that side ready. Primarily, we're going to need to find enough resources to make more tin pipe. And also another charcoal-powered boiler. And I can't fill this in too far, otherwise we won't build the pipe. So let's just go to 2x2 at this point. Keep going, pick up the dirt along the way. It's all about the friends we made along the dirt. Okay. Splendid. So, in order to finish this new assembly, we are going to probably need to move this to over there, which is fine. There's nothing really lost except maybe 6 minutes of cooking a steel. And I don't even have to move... Okay, I will have to move that one, but... yeah, we're going to need to prepare for a safe transition of power away from the coke oven being on. Well, from the blast furnace being on. Misnaming every single object I'm working with here. This lovely flower has been at the base for a long time. I'm going to move them there, somewhere out of the way, so it can be undisturbed for a while. Now, dump whatever the coke oven is doing at the time. Put the seared faucets in there. We don't need them right now. Take the steel. Take the steel. Lock down this one as well. Squid. Okay, these will be ready to move in about, I don't know, 2.5 minutes. Maybe like 3 minutes. Alright, well, the system's going well. We got 3 boilers technically operational right now. We need to make a new firebox. A solid fueled boiler firebox to match the one we already have. 11 iron plate, understandable. This bronze thing again. Some bricks, I have spare. Oh wait, another 7, because we need a cauldron. Okay, so 7, 14, 18. 18 iron plate. Platema. But yeah, with regards to the expand channel redeem, I worry that it'll just become completely irrelevant nearly immediately. Like, yeah, on one stream, they'll double it all the way to a few thousand, then every few streams it'll get doubled again, until it gets to like a 6-digit number, and it just stops being a thing. And I'm not opposed to something being a long-term goal, I just think that it doesn't pair well with the next objective doubling in distance repeatedly. Like, that exponential growth is, if curtailed properly, might be fun, but in the case of literal doubling, I think is not ideal. There are better ways to do something like that. Personally, I would add in a sort of decay factor, and also a motivation for an individual to be the one to get it. Like, I want there to be some reward, like name it something, give it like bragging, like very explicit bragging rights, and if it decays over time, like it's unexpands slightly, then there's not just an incentive to usurp at the opportune moment, but to sustain it, to maintain your bragging rights. It's kind of fun, like, game design stuff. Quint and I just sort of sit and talk about together on occasion. Just in the cool ideas department. Sometimes they manifest as cool stream ideas, sometimes they do not. Is it wrench? It was wrench. Okay, let's see here. We want that one. Put my plate in here, did I? How embarrassing. Those there. Check. We need 2 brick. And the firebox casing. The firebox casing is... well, it's 12 bronze rods and 4 bronze plates. So we need 16 bronze. Look at it go, huh? This is working. Just succeeding at its stated objective. Where did I put my... I bet I put it in one of these weird chests over here. No. That's not enough bronze. We need 16 bronze. We only got 15. Well, okay, we have 9 plus 15 in dust form. Fortunately, we also have the technology. The iron and copper in there, build the Statue of Liberty later. Not strictly a Deus Ex reference, but I intended it as a Deus Ex reference. As far as the things we already need to build. Let's start with the 8 rods for the frame. Normally we would take a frame we already have available, but we don't have any available. I spent them all. While that goes, we have reached the exciting moment where we get rid of this dang thing and move it somewhere else. Maybe closer here. Maybe on this side, because if it is going to be fueled purely by cactus, it would go like boom, boom, boom. Granted, we don't need to get rid of the entire thing immediately. Just this half of it. Don't you mean the RFC? But also thank you. I've been mostly streaming to an empty audience for the past 4 years, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you come along and become what I consider to be my first fan, and I really appreciate it. It made these streams a lot less isolating and lonesome. Wait, what the heck? Huh? How long was that the case? Oh no. What happened here? Oh, wait, I think I... You know what? I'd give like 80% odds an Enderman got... Well, the Enderman picked up that dirt, got hit by wet, died, and clogged both the hopper and the water flow. You really cannot leave anything you make out here alone, huh? So if that goes there, then these can go... Let's say here. Let's make this the first foray into the riverbed here. Shoot. Da-da-da. Strictly speaking, we don't want these. An opening somewhere, and there's ours. Let's move this one. Turns out making a tool out of steel has some benefits. Primarily, it doesn't get destroyed easily. Excellent. Blast furnaces can be moved to a separate location. Those in with dirt, excavator it out. Fire brick. Dude. Accidentally opened it. Accidentally opened it. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Open the openings. There we go. We can now smelt steel again. And let's start doing that immediately. After all, kind of important. A whole stack of cactus coke for 16 iron in each will get us fueled, and then I'll be able to use the fact that these turn off as our indication that it ran out of fuel. Everything working together in harmonious harmony. I don't know. And though I feel a little guilty about this, I have considered just usurping the position. If there's not going to be any official support for the RFC's Master of Arena, even if I don't have the resources to make the, like, perpetually open lobby, I think I might just start tracking the arena duel fights myself. If I gotta step in and be that bot, I'll be that bot. I just don't want to do it and people feel like I'm performing some sort of hostile takeover. If that's not my intention, I just want it to survive. If I had, like, the official blessing of Lubaloo or one of the moderators to do this while everything was absent, then that would be ideal for me. It's like, I'm not doing anything else. I can just officiate that. People can do the things. these are small tin items. Okay. We could recycle these small tin items into tiny tin items so that they go farther. Not a bad idea. A bit of an odd idea, but not a bad idea. Oh yeah, I ransacked the hopper at some point. Okay, macerator is still plugged in. Yes, it is. Take these, macerate them down into their fundamental components. Right, the bronze. We're doing bronze stuff. Okay, with this, we take these 8 and put a wrench in the middle. Solves that. Our wrench exploded. Let's make a new wrench. Do I make another steel one? Steel is valuable for machines, but we're not making machines. I'll make another iron one. I'll use iron ones for crafting, and I'll keep using my steel one for actual construction. For maintenance. Okay, 2, 4, 6. Hammer that together. We have our new crafting wrench. Congratulations, self. So, you know, with all of the coke ovens moved out, this place is feeling a lot more spacious. And the blast furnace. Generally speaking, my existence as a Lammergeier Tetra, I think, gives people the false impression that I'm very aerial. Like, I'm gonna go stand in the sky and shoot for 1,000,000 years. And then when I don't, they think, oh, this fool doesn't even know how to run a lamb, and then they get hit by every single explosion ever. They love it. And I am glad you have fond memories of me just obliterating you into a fine powder. Okay. Focus on the technology for a second. We need firebox casing. Firebox casing, we need 4 bronze plate, 4 bronze rods. I'm smelting bronze so that we have enough for this. There it is. Head back over here. 4 bronze plate. 4 bronze rod. Get the 2 bricks that we need from here that I remember and simply just know to get. Put them in there. It's just that casing now. Lay that up. The recipe for this in. 1 of that. 4 of these. 4 of the rods. Wait for that to happen. Separately, we have 10 tin dust. I will smelt into 10 tin. Actually, no, I'm going to get 4 more tin dust. We have tin dust in reserve. I know this. Make it a solid 16 to not waste charcoal, even though it doesn't matter. Then those 10 pipe turned into 10 dust will be able to give us even more tiny tin pipe, which will solve the logistics question here. To get these pipe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We need 12. Well, granted, I can probably just make 2 crafts of tiny, because I think tiny gives us 8, so that'll give us 16, which is plenty. Boiler's going good. Coke supply is resupplying. Irons are in the fire. They are frying. For some reason, I got the impression it got eerily quiet, but it was eerily quiet to begin with. I just was thinking, so I got distracted from it. 4 bronze rods go into there. That's our firebox casing. Put the firebox casing in here. That is our solid fueled boiler firebox. Forgot the cauldron. Remembered the cauldron. Okay, combined with that boiler, which will move down here to standardize the whole affair. And one more high-pressure boiler tank to put the water in. This will be our completed design. I was expecting the water to automatically route in. I guess I'll have to do that myself. There we are. In that case, preempt that one. We're just expanding it now. The pipe. It is pipe time. First, we are going to bend 12 out of 16 of these into tin. With that collected, we will be able to turn that into 6 tin hammer wrench construction into tiny item pipe. By my recollection, they will give us 8 of those. The 8 will be enough to connect the item pipeline we have right now to the bottom of these 2 boilers. One here and one I haven't built yet. And with that, we will have our complete 2 creosote, 2 boiler powered by 4 coke oven ratio factory of fuel that will allow us a little bit more freedom in what we're doing with all of our steam. In fact, I can dedicate these like individually. This tank can cut through this line to fuel the mixer specifically, because that thing takes a lot of steam. This one can fuel these machines and the macerator. I don't know what the third one will fuel. Maybe we double up fueling the mixer? I don't know. And then this one goes to these machines, and then the fourth one can power our electricity for the time being. Or maybe the third one can act as sort of an overload support. It'll split off its steam, half going to the electricity, and the other half going to the mixer. Then we'll be able to run both. And I won't have to worry so much about this running out of steam. I like that plan. I like that plan. Obviously, the ideal would be some sort of grandiose distribution system where we like collect all of our steam in one tank and distribute as needed. But this will work for now. Okay, step down into the inner pipe works, connect all of these. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Cut that in. I'm stuck due to my own past stealth. Fill this in while we're here so I don't have to go down here again. I could save on a little bit of tin by cutting up immediately and then going across, but I don't really care. I like this visually, how it is now. What the heck? You approximate scumbag. Where are you? Where the heck are you? You destroyed my water break. Where'd you go? Where the heck did you go? There you are. Got him. Okay. Wow. Oh, the locals hate me. That could have been disastrous. It could have blown up something important, or even worse, the water could have hit the low voltage machine and started causing fires, and then explosions. Oh, boy. Huh? Wait. We got some quantum water here. Oh, now I want to make this the thumbnail. Wait, hold on. If I break this tree, will it destroy the quantum water? If no, I'm totally making this the thumbnail. Dang it, it broke it. Okay, that's fine. I suspected a block update would do something like that, but I didn't know if it would work on the diagonal. Okay, I think it's time we swap over to the new system. You are simply pickaxe removed. It makes sense that Railcraft, which does not have the concept of a wrench in it, would use pickaxe for picking up its major devices. Okay. Tank. Put in the fuel. Boiler. Water's rising. How about the charcoal? I imagine it'd be a little bit statistical. Yeah, most charcoal is going to go into the closer firebox. But in theory, once this fills up, this one will start going. We'll just have to check on that in the future. Because we know this is above equilibrium. We are producing more than we are consuming. Contingent on us actually having enough wood to fuel it. Okay, we gotta go do some lumberly actions. Get my inventory before I do some lumberly actions. Making sure. Oh, we never put the compressor back. Or did I recently get rid of it? Very strange. My own past actions, to clarify. I acted very strangely in the past. Alright. Let's cut that wood. Truly, the lumber axe is the pinnacle of convenience, specifically in the realm of lumberly actions. All the logs go in there. Suddenly, our fuel supply is very, very good. In fact, I'm going to take one of these stacks and just fill up some of these manually. Just make sure nothing undesirable. There we go. They go in the hopper fills up. These will distribute and we'll be good. Now, it's close to breaking even in terms of the charcoal and creosote consumed. We are producing ever so slightly more than we are producing. Sorry, no, we're producing more than we're consuming. But not by much. And the worst consequence of that is that it means that it's actually quite difficult to use, like, there's almost no byproduct, which means we can no longer get charcoal as a byproduct. Which is difficult because we used to use the charcoal byproduct to make our steel. The easiest way I can see to remedy this is to make another coke oven. And I know this is like, we just made one. Why are you making another? The reason is because we need charcoal. We need a solid fuel to put in the blast furnace. And the cactus coke is great, but we're not making enough of it. Especially now that we're running 2 of these. Our cactus coke is not going to be enough. We need charcoal for this. Wait a minute. Memories of a technology. This could be our solution. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was my solution in the past. To explain, this is the charcoal pile igniter. It takes a big chunk of logs on the ground, encased in a material, and turns it into like an enclosed, air-sealed, just firebox. Burns all of the logs into these like charred logs, which you can then cut down with a regular lumber axe to get supreme charcoal. Outside of something like an advanced coke oven, it is one of the fastest ways to make charcoal in like tier 0 and tier 1. And tier 2 probably also. Unlike the coke oven, it doesn't make creosote. But also unlike the coke oven, it's ridiculously fast. But also, unlike the coke oven, it is not automatable in the slightest. Before we get into all that, though, let's just reconnect our lovely theme. That in. Note with arrows which way it's going. Next thing I want to make, I think, is more bronze and more bronze pipe so that all of our steam can work together in harmony. So let's do our classic 1648 split. The alloy smelter is still connected by this one. So we can use this and make a stack of bronze, please. I'm sure I put some of my old piping away. Pick that back up to read a single pipe. I have a single extra pipe. Fantastic. We could use the single extra... No, we can't. System's going well, and we're about to hit the... Oh, I was expecting diminishing returns already. That's fine. Still eat one large veggie sandwich and a chicken pot pie, and now... Now we have diminishing returns. Fair enough. Okay. I will start piping back the mixer's steam supply. In fact, I'll pipe it so that it goes straight up. Mostly for style. 2, 1, one way, that, no, that way. And then, that way. Now we just need one more. If only we had some bronze. Where am I going to get some? Where could I possibly find a supply of bronze in this day and age? Trick question. We do not find bronze, we make it. More bronze in the bank. I'll make tiny pipe. Please make regular. The volume of steam we need to transport is fairly high across the entire factory. So we're kind of using the bronze fluid pipe as a standard pipe, just to make sure that it is enough for everything. And the spare pipe will go here. And this will be our support tank. I'm going to talk about the stream for a second, because you probably don't see this, because the automated bot for destroying spam messages is working correctly. But I still get to see the spam messages sometimes. And they've gotten a little bit more hostile. Not in any, like, direct personal way, but instead of just being like, hey, get free easy viewers on insert scam website here, it's become like, oh wow, your chat's really empty, it's pathetic. Fix it by going to insert scam website here. Like, they're insulting me now. And part of me is interested with that, primarily because I just don't think it'd be effective to insult a streamer to make them fall into your scam. Maybe it preys on the insecurities of like some streamers who are who like do feel the loneliness. But it's also just rude. Who thought that was a good idea for a scam message? Okay, so now you see the plan here. My support network. 2, 1, 0. Oh, wrong way. There we go. So now here is the network as it currently exists. We're going to label these 1 through 4. High pressure boiler tank 1 is dedicated purely to powering our massive steam separator. Boiler 2 is dedicated to powering our single block steam machines and the macerator. Boiler 4, I'm skipping 3 for a second, 4 is dedicated purely to converting steam into electrical power. And then boiler 3 is meant to sort of evenly distribute its excess load to wherever it might be needed. In fact, I'm going to add it to the single block line as well. There we go. So now we have this one going to the mixer, this one going to the single blocks and macerator, this one going to the electricity, and this one going to all of them to give that little extra push. As expected, this boiler is filling up with charcoal before anything else. So if I want these to properly distribute, I would either need a way to balance the pipes, which I have no idea how to do, or I just fill up boiler number 1, or boiler number 3 in my system, such that the charcoal can only go to this one until this one consumes a single charcoal. Unfortunately, I don't know if I have enough charcoal to do that anymore. Charcoal supplies are short. I think I have some extra charcoal in the house, which now has a massive hole in the door. Yeah, here's some charcoal. Here's some charcoal. Okay, this will be plenty. Oh, and that? Doubly plenty. Yeah, so fill this up. Now all charcoal must go into here. And yep, we just saw it increase. Fantastic. Great. The boilers are running. The factory is back in business. And you might think, oh, congratulations, Exception. You solved the thing you wanted to do today. No, this is not what I wanted to do today. This was an emergency measure invoked because the factory was destroyed. My original intent for today's Greg Tech shenanigan was to get lava. Remember that problem? It feels so long ago. But like our whole deal was that we wanted to get a source of lava convenient, present, and available so that we could have obsidian and not worry about our hammer getting destroyed. So we wanted to dig our way into the secret chambers underneath the lava ocean. So let's do that. I'm mostly going to be digging underground, so I'm not too worried about, like, being spawn camped by mobs. I'm going to bring all of this. I'm also going to empty this tank of all of the lava in it currently. seems to be just short of a full array. I'm going to dolly the cart over here and then pick it up. I guess a pickaxe is the correct tool here. Yes. It doesn't tell you, but it clearly cares about being picked up by a tool. I'll drop off my excess charcoal, but not all of it, into the blast furnace processing chest. Keep some of it and keep these logs. I don't know why I have a mortar. I guess I just picked it up somewhere. Those in there. The pipes can go in there, as is the pump. Everything else is mostly relevant. Keep the clipboard here. Don't want to lose my notes. Take a nap, and we'll head to the Nether. Oh, minecarts for the lava thing? I don't know. My secret hope was that maybe I could just move the Nether portal lower towards the lava level. Oh, you're saying do both. Well, first let's scout an area. That's going to be objective 1. By raw necessity. But I do agree that most of the stuff we want and care about in the Nether is stuff down in the depths. Do you know offhand the Y level for lava in this version of Minecraft? Like, is that just intel you know? Okay. Okay, well, first off, we're going to have to figure that out. Second, we want to make sure that we're marking the location of the portal so that when we make it, okay. So that when we make it, at the correct altitude. Just being here at this level, we can infer a few things. Like, this altitude of 56 is too high. I'm gonna make a crazy, not crazy at all guess, and assume it's at, like, level 32. Looking where lava is. Yeah, we don't get data from altitude from the journey map in this version of Minecraft. Well, not in this version of Minecraft, in the Nether, I mean. After all, it's raiding the Nether roof perpetually. Ha! Tried to get me with your schemes. Okay. Well, this wasn't what I intended. I don't know if the fluid... I don't know. As far as I've been able to see, the fluids in this game just sort of work like regular Minecraft fluids. Unless you're referring to, like, them fixing some bug where the fluids will prioritize, like, flowing outwards, but... Water source blocks, lava source blocks, they all stay where they are. Yeah, source blocks don't move. Not that I've seen. I mean, I'm pretty sure that a pump absorbing lava will still collect from the entire lava pool. So we can do that once we get a proper liquid pump to pump out liquid. Not to be confused with the pipe pumps I've been using to funnel liquid through pipes. All that said, I can't complain about what's going on currently. This kind of kicks the problem down the road a little bit because we've accidentally found another basic pool of lava that I can just ransack for another 48 lava. And therefore another 48 obsidian. And I do need to clear out this lava pool so that I can dig forward in my system. Well, no, I can dig around. Let's not be irresponsible here. Three, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. If I'm reading this correctly, at the very least, this line is clear of lava. And I went one up so we can go back one down. Continue, and I am very curious to see if we do indeed hit the lava ocean at this altitude. At the very least, we should break out into open air, get attacked by a random bat, and I was right. Y32 is the threshold. This is our lava. This will be our access. But not right now. Good. That confirms our altitude situation, and this is reasonably close in line to the portal that this could be our like exact access point. So track the line back here, heading towards our new portal location. Yeah, this is very, very achievable. From there to there. I've actually gone too far. See. Yeah, this is about where we put the portal, just in this room. Torch this up. Mark it. Splendid. I forgot to actually take the lava with me. That's silly. Alright, up we go. Gas is having a bad day. My guess is that it hit some of the thorns upstairs, because there are thorns upstairs. That said, be advised, there is a ghast in the premises. Could do ghastly things. It's probably still more up. And I think it's the thing to the south of me on the minimap. Though audibly it seems to be behind me. Oh, I feel bad for you. Regen in the thorn jungle? That stinks, buddy. Oh, it's actually Z0. I did not intend it, but I accidentally put the portal close enough to just go to the origin. Okay. Now let's do an obsidian cycle. Get the hammer. I've gotten a few. I needed some to make a macerator in the first place, so I've seen a few diamonds. Not many. Okay. Interesting. Okay, let's see. This is 8 obsidian, but if I recall, an obsidian is worth 2. Which means theoretically, if I wanted to make exactly 10 reinforcements just out of nowhere for the wild reason of making a thing super reinforced and unbreakable, I would need 40 obsidian and 20 steel. Both very acquirable. But I don't know if it's worth it for me. Hey there, big zombie. How you doing? Large and in charge. Tired and fired. Ooh, you could jump up that. Nice. See ya. Okay, so lava secured. Wool of bat. Hmm. Dude. Wait a minute. Some of these chests have redundancies. Also, what's Clay doing in this one? Log supply is running a bit low. I think once we really fill this up with just a few cycles of lumberly action, we will be in very good standing. Lumber. Here's my secret idea. Genius. You think we should put a floor here? Just some vaguely stylistic surface to cover up the inner workings of this. I agree. What kind of materials we got for a floor right now? Well, we got dirt, we got cobblestone, we got regular stone. We've got a little bit of marbled cobblestone. Soul sand. I really don't have much in ways of stylistic building materials. Oh, almost ran out of steel production. Slime floor. This is a weird question to ask, but do we have path in this version? I think we have path in this version. Other alternatives is we could put a floor down and then put a carpet on it. Maybe. We could make a wood floor. You know, nothing fancy, just take some of the... Wait, there's a chisel. Oh! Hold on. Yeah. Okay. I'm liking this parquet. Some of these feel like they'd be better as individual blocks to represent the notion of like cargo containers, which would be good for a build that isn't our front yard. I like this one though. This has stylized chiseled path written all over it. Okay, let's wait till... Alright, there's a super spruce. Let's do a lumberly action, but this time instead of refueling the steam machine, we'll get a chisel and make one of these into a lovely, lovely assembly. I just wanted to check real quick. It doesn't seem like there's a chisel option for the log itself, but we can saw them into a weird thing. Okay, so we'll take this to the super chisel menu. Let's get just a stack of parquet form. I also like that mobs cannot spawn on this block. That's a helpful feature. Let's just see what it looks like. Ooh, I like it. Ooh, this is 7x7, so Even easier. Bonk, 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 bonk. I'm a little worried about the interior becoming dark, but we can fix that manually from the basement. Looking kinda nice. And how about from here, we put in a little spruce border line. Now we can go down here into the pipeworks as described. I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to put some torches in places. Let's do one there, one there, one there. Put one here. Compensate. Not like there's much room for a mob to spawn in here. The claustrophobia is working both ways. Okay. Wow. This is looking pretty good. Quick nap. If we're going to extend it with parquet any direction, it would probably be that way. So let's border up this part. Oh. The individual shovel's faster. I use the excavator first. And then let's extend it so that this is a proper exterior entrance. This, like, sheer drop-off will still be canonical. And then... we can cut those out, go over here to our brick stair supply, which we have. Put these in. We cut this one further in. Trying to get this particular feel to it. I wanna angle this last one inwards, but I don't think that's appropriate for how this is placed right now. Cobblestone chisel, it does. Ooh, if we go to huge cobblestone tiles, that might be a good reference for a frame. So how about we get 7 of those? Chisel this. Go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put the door back in and check this out. I've done something here. You know, the funny thing is, I built this whole thing for the express purpose of concealing the inner workings of this input system. But now that I've built it, this input system is like the one focal point of ugliness here. How do we make stairs? Okay, it's just normal Minecraft stairs. Okay, we can jiggle it out to other shapes, but for the most part, this has served its purpose. Let's convert them back into regular planks. There we go. I like it. Suddenly, I'm getting many exciting ideas for how to make this look. Okay, this is now a fashion. We're doing fashion now. I want to make this wall, like the fact that it's just a sheer wall of dirt, like shape-wise, I'm good with. But I would like it if the wall was stylized as if it were like a real wall holding back the dirt. So I want to swap out the dirt itself for like one of the cobblestone variants that make it look like it's a bricked up support wall. Maybe with stairs along the top to make it look like it's sort of like arced over holding it. I don't really have granite. I'm trying to do this with materials I have on hand. And the big material I have on hand right now is cobblestone. So I'm going to use cobblestone. Ooh, wait, hold on. I wonder if netherrack can be chiseled. It can, but these are a lot more organic in the literal, like, organ type of way. Nether brick is a possibility, kinda. We have to macerate it down into netherrack dust, then alloy smelt it into a brick, then form the nether brick, and then this chisels into... Yeah, I'm going to call it... These are too red. I'm sticking with cobblestone for this one. It matches with the just general terrestrial nature of this. Alright, let's see. Wall, wall, wall. Tiles are a bit too uniform. This one could be good. Don't want to use the huge tiles again. Ooh, damaged cobblestone tile combined with regular cobblestone tile. Hold on. One quick check, because I do also have stone. The classic stone. Ooh. Disordered stone brick or the wide stone brick are looking nice. I think I'm going wide. Now, I don't think these can be... Yeah, they can't be. But... we have carpenter's blocks. That makes complete sense. Okay, so like one... If we log up like that, that sort of denotes the edge here. Then let's do some carpentry. First off, take these two down. Saw me a good number of planks. The lathe is fine, but I'd rather just do some more sawing. There we go. Creativity. I think I'm going overboard with how many carpenters think up. Wow, that was fast. Didn't go that overboard at all. In fact, I think this will be just enough. Perfect. beautiful. And then to help pierce the illusion on this side, we're just gonna put a lovely log enclosure here. Wow. I'm really proud of what I've accomplished here. It's nice. It's nice. It's really nice. I like it. I should. I should. Let me get on this hill. Oh wait, it didn't work. Right, right. Oh, okay. I understand what's going on. Don't worry, I can fix it. Here we go. There, I've shared it. I've shared it. People can look at it. They can witness what I've created. It's fine. It's good. I like it. I'm not gonna go into landscaping foliage right yet now. I think this is good as is for now. I'm gonna do the F7 thing. Oh right, mobs can't spawn on these blocks. Great. That solves itself. Ooh. Hard day's work tending to the front lawn. I gotta consume a food. Very good. And then let's turn the stone bricks back into regular stone for our supplies. And then let's start smelting like another stack of cobblestone, because we do need stone. It's an important ingredient in stuff. Put that in there. That'll go through about 4 charcoal. Let's go down to the basement, see how this is going. It's going good. Creosote is empty. Why is creosote empty? 676, 1550. I guess it's just... What? Oh! Oh, 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 oh. Oops. Right. Hey, listen, listen. Normally I'd be completely okay with just like cutting it and like we cut our losses and like everything's exploded and it's all tragic and sad and stuff. Do you want to just like reload a backup real quick? Like wait. That block survived. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna. Okay, like in the future, I do want a vague policy of letting that go through, but for right now, okay. I've rewound time just a little bit, and we appear to be slightly before I did the carpentry stuff. Like we do not have our carpenter's blocks yet. Actually, we have. I was seconds away from applying the saw to them. Okay. Remember, I did that. I did this. I was happy about it. We'll just retrace our steps. So, I'm not opposed to, like, letting mistakes like that go through in the future, but I do want to be prepared for them. So I hope it's okay if we just sort of call that one a freebie and then move on. Fortunately, I remember exactly how this was set up. Though I will let the record for that stick around because it was indeed hilarious. Okay. Torch there. Torch there. Torch there. Close that. Torch here. Time has been reset. We can go back to doing the things we were doing in the previous timeline, filling that up. So, what happened here? I realized that this boiler was full of fire, but no water. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'll fill the water in. Until the water went in, this place was superheated to 1,000 degrees Celsius. The water converted to steam immediately and the thing blew up. So the solution is to do this. Rake the boy. We'll lose what creosote supply was inside. That's okay. Ow. Now we have water. Now we'll have creosote. We should help bolster the creosote supplies, because, yeah, it's equilibrium, but... well, that thing doesn't know that. Maybe there should be like some sort of preset in punishment for doing a backup. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Ah, this is also before I ate my delicious 2 pies. I gotta eat the 2 pies to synchronize the timeline. There we are. Oh, I should definitely be getting some creosote out of that one. That'll be enough to back up the creosote supplies in these tanks, which will therefore make everything smooth sailing. Can I walk along this side? Yes, I can. If it was just the boilers that blew up, I'd have spares. But if the big thing I was devastated about was the bronze machines and the macerator. If those had survived, I would not have backed up. I would have taken it in stride. What the heck's a flux goop? Yeah, I'll make a sacrifice of some material, depending on what I'm backing up to save. In fact, I'll do that here. It'll be sort of like a retroactive ritual to invoke the backup, except it's happening after the backup occurred. You know, like to just sort of forego the wrath of any creature. Okay. What's a good sacrifice? I know. I'll sacrifice what I was okay with losing. Herefore, therefore, to appease the Greg in all of us, we shall make a ritual sacrifice of 1 liquid-fueled boiler firebox and 1 high-pressure boiler tank. The cost of my transgressions, the failure of my network, and the foolishness to put water in a boiler that was already at high temperature. Let us now sacrifice this boiler so that it may be lost to save others. It is done. Yeah, I feel good about that. I feel like we're still in a little bit of a creative mood. How about we... a little bit of work over here. A little bit of simple landscaping. Okay, back to practical problems for a second. We are running out of cactus coke to fuel those, and thanks to my meddling, our charcoal supplies are now very, very finite. Like, extremely finite. Because all the charcoal is going into these. And we ain't getting extra. Sorry, I'm trying to decide what I'm doing here. I think what I'm doing is making more carpenter blocks. That's just sort of what it appears I'm doing. Man, they really craft fast, huh? Eight more. Why did I make 8 more? I'm thinking about making like a ramp here. I don't know. Leave them in there, I suppose. Optimize some of our inventory slots and all that good. Okay. Can dirt be chiseled? What did I just open? Can dirt be chiseled? It can. Okay, these aren't that bad. I like this one. It's got like dirt structure on top, dirt on the bottom. That's pretty cool. Ooh, we ran out of iron to smelt as well. Hey, 3 diamonds. Okay, let's take another stack of iron. Scavenge whatever charcoal we can find. Just around. Grab a half stack here. A half stack here. Dump a charcoal. Dump a charcoal. Take the steel out. How much steel do we have now? We've been making it for most of the day. Hey! We're back to a full stack. Splendid. Speaking of all that, let's check our clipboard. Because now that we've solved the boiler situation finally, and conceivably are holding steady. Yeah, this is full. This is full. I didn't touch anything there. These tanks are full of water. This one is, well, empty of creosote right now. It might be a bit of a just-in-time delivery thing. I could directionalize these tank types, but I don't think it matters for something like creosote. Still, though, those are full. There's some creosote backing up. creosote in the pipe. I'll assert it here. Because that way, it'll at least know it should go this direction. And then this is filling up with creosote. Excellent, 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 excellent. I am happy with what I am observing. Cool. Let's make some barrels. All right, a better barrel is a chest and a slab with logs. Why am I suddenly making barrels? Because I want to tackle the inventory situation. If we've got nothing else going on, we may as well tackle the inventory situation. So, saw up some planks. We are going to need our flint supplies. I'm going to aim for, let's say 4 barrels. I'm imagining something like 1 for dirt, 1 for cobblestone, 1 for maybe sand, I don't know. 4 chests. We don't have enough logs for this. We're also going to need to make planks, but logs are not an issue. It's mostly just a matter of walking over to our giant super spruce supply and doing a little bit of a lumberly action. Just do our reps. I'm not even going to do a full rep. We don't have the inventory space for it. Oh, you know what? I could replace the chest here with a barrel for the logs. That would stop my ability to use the logs for, well, to use general purpose logs. But maybe that doesn't matter. It would be able, I'd be able to read literally on it how many logs I have to work with. I like it. I like that. I'm going to do that. Yes. Is it as simple as this? It is. Okay, barrel me up, please. Thank you. Nice. Okay, I am going to do what I just described. I'm going to make our first barrel. Oops. Didn't expect it to cut through the entire floor. I am stuck. Yeah, I should have emptied out the bottom here. Flailing awkwardly with the logistics of this. Okay. And put this here. No. Good. Failure. I guess I have to put them in one at a time? That's a little inconvenient. Yeah, now it's locked to log. Good. There we are. Let's just put some of the other stuff around here. In fact, I'll even dolly my spam chests out here. And we can start doing some inventory optimization on the deck. Inventory. Perfect, perfect. Item frames, item frames, item frames. I have not checked. Yes, I can. I can indeed make the item frames that you speak of and have spoken of as of like a few seconds ago. Oh wait, what am I worried about? I have a good backlog of charcoal. So yeah, that'll be a problem, but not right now. Cool. And what, use them to label what I have? That's the idea there? Maybe. Right now I'm just going to focus on the part where I put stuff in barrels. I'm going to check the Better Barrel quest. This is probably like other features of how this works that I should learn. While standard chests are good for your basic item and goods, they are not ideal for storing a large amount of ore. You should bring yourself some barrels in order to keep things organized. It does not tell me how to use them. And I guess what it really wants me to do is use these in bulk. Doo-doo-doo. 3, 4. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, you can double right click and it'll just all go in there. That's what I was looking for. Alright, let's do this. Well, we've gone through the big ones, and now we only have one barrel left. Now, these ores should not be in here. They should be in the ore chest. Ore chests are full. Hey, since we got the mixer back online, we can start using it again. Item output. Oh, yeah. Got some diamond dust. Okay, yes. Let's expand our categorizations of the ores at the very least, because we got 2 new chests from the log thing we're not using anymore. So, here's going to be our system. And I'll need a dolly to angle this out properly. Nope, you go there, and you go there. Thank you. Okay, here's the system. For right now. Raw ore and crushed ore. Impure piles of dust. Clean dust. Ingots and stuff. Specialty bulk production materials. Forget the labels. I got time for labels. We'll sort it first, then we'll add the label. Your pile's good. There we are. Target's locked. Good. All the impures are in here. Now it's mostly a matter of visual identification. We got raw, we got crushed. The ore blocks would also count as raw ore for the purposes of this. Okay, we're full here. Guess that means we should probably split them further. Raw ore and then crushed ore. Alternatively, I could just process these. Yeah, we'll process these. What do I do with this? Melt it into copper. Okay, so this function is identical to a raw ore. So the correct thing to do is macerate. Gotcha. Grease is backed up in the pipes. That's great to see. Being very particular with what ores I put, because I want these to be more like the mineral processy ores, not like the alloy dusts. So I don't want things like... That in there. But then there's other weird things like lazurite's a process thing. Gunpowder does not go in there. Gunpowder would go in here. I guess sulfur counts. Okay, that's an improvement. Maceration of the tiny bit of copper should be complete. We can forge hammer that out. We got another impure pile of sulfur, which we can clean. Cobalt. Cobalt era. Wow, this went from an unmitigated disaster to a very well mitigated disaster. Love how that works. Oh. Hmm. Yeah, that's looking reliably like a problem. We are water negative. No, it is not. Granted. Hmm. Okay. Conceivably, we could build another. Alternatively, there is another device we can make. I just need to find it. Oh, no, of course, it's being multi-block goals. That's what I'm thinking of. You. A steam water pump. It is a large amount of water if fed with steam. Okay, so this is like a deep water excavator. That uses steam to get water? That's interesting. No, I think what we should do is make another water tank siding machine. This would be ideal. How much sticky resin do we have? By my estimates, very little. Very little, angling towards none. That's not good. We have 24. Right, I remember why I hated building that thing. Yay. Well. I need sticky resin out of these. No. You can make methane out of this? Huh. Well, we got our 26. Now we can make what we need. Thank goodness I didn't have to resort to a tree tap, personally. I'm just very happy about that fact. Great deal of personal satisfaction and relief from that fact. So, tank siding. We will be going with this recipe. We will need an arbitrarily unimportant amount of planks, 26 of this, and 52 iron rods. Fortunately, our iron supply is hecked, because I stole it all to make the stuff. But a simple trip in the nether furnaces should solve that right up. While that's cooking for a bit, let's review our inventories over here. I saw some raw ores that we should port over. Here they are. We've in essence acquired no new technology today, but I'm still very satisfied with what's gone on because I feel so much more organized and like I'm doing correct things in correct ways. Ah. How about we make the crushed ore chest, and we make this the crushed ore chest once we clear out of the other random junk. We got the system. Ore, crushed, impure, dust, ready metals, ready exotics. Something like that. Oh, this is full. Wait, what are these ducks doing in here? Past self. There we go. Clear here, are you? Yes, indeed. Well, since we're dealing with a general iron shortage right now, let's process this pyrite. It fills me with great personal satisfaction that the factory is back operational once more. $27? That's exactly what I need. Okay, time to super lathe. You may be displeased with me in that I'm using 52 instead of 26 ingots, but that's because the lathe has dust deposits, which we will have to recycle back into ingots in order to get the intended solution here. That means that even though we only need 26 iron ingots worth of iron rods, we need 52 iron ingots as input, and it will give us a return later. I have an idea. Yes, we can. Nice. I just recycled some dungeon stone into regular stone. Look at that, I can see the number. Thanks to the gigantic volume of the water siding tank, we won't run out of water soon. But if we do run out of water, all of these boilers are going up. Just all of them. It'd be hilarious if it wasn't so devastating. Now that the blast furnace over there, I'm going to move this chest over to there, because this is the chest of processing those materials. There we are. I think they got swapped vertically. What if I do this? There we go. Steel's going through. That's the lathe doing. Pretty nice. We can start making some of the siding tanks now. Well, that's 6 of them. Kind of want to move this siding tank in one, but we'd also have to move it to the right one. Let's check behind the wall, see what's here. Oh, hey, it's our interior. That's a little... makes things a little complicated. Suppose it shouldn't be that weird. The fighting tank, that one goes like 1, 2, 3, stop, 1, 2, 3. We put it here. Weird that it wasn't registering there. These into dust. We have the dust. That's enough for right now. It is indeed 26. Which means that the center is hollow, which I expected. So my plan is, because I want to move this one to the left, one back, and one down. My plan for that is to finish this one, take out like all the water manually from one to the other, just to go like doot 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 doot, and then destroy this one, just to keep that water backlog available. I don't want to suddenly get to a point where I accidentally ruin all of my water ever and we're back to 0 water. I'll also preemptively verify that the new tank is actually gaining water. I'm gonna need a new saw blade soon. At some point, you have to ask yourself if it's worth it to get the iron back. And if you want to just file them manually so that's done faster. Because right now, I'm just sort of sitting here waiting for it to be done. Maybe I'll run some more ores while I wait. I think it's generally a healthy idea to keep busy. There's a weird sense in which boredom is going to be your own, like, undoing. Especially because if you're the one choosing the tasks, if you choose no tasks for yourself, then you're going to get bored because you're not doing anything as a result. I don't think I have what I need for a mob farm right now. What would you argue I need for a mob farm right now? Short list, huh? I think I have all of those. Whoa, 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 what did I just do? Huh. I didn't mean to do that, but I guess it works. Oh, only one more rod left. I could do that. But since I've taken up residence inside a dungeon, like Season 1, I'm thinking that I can go down there and use some of the pre-existing mob spawners down there and make a trap out of those. You are. Looking good, looking good. Okay, the rods are done. We may finally proceed. See this? What do you mean? It's right there. Oh, this won't do at all. Can't put this here. This one can see the sky, though. Why can this one see the sky? Because the middle can see it can't. Why can't that one? This is troublesome. Yeah, this is really, really inconvenient. Because we're on the precipice of biomes without precipitation, and I need good water. What if I just... place it here? Oh, well, that's why I can't see the sky, because the entire roof is covering every single block of it here. So... what? I've solved the puzzle. We go down. You might think it makes the problem worse, but it makes the problem better. Observe. Perfect. And with this fully secured, confirmed, we can do this. Actually, it may be better to do it like this. Ho, ho, ho. Well, my plan is I am going to still move this one. Why stop there, huh? Why stop there, huh? After all, we want throughput here. Good. Okay, like 100 buckets I think is good enough. Let's cut this down. So your new question that you're asking me right now in this hypothetical situation I've made up is, okay, exception, well now what? Well, before I answer that, I gotta ask the question of where the heck the 26th water tank siding park block went. No, seriously, where did it go? I lost one? How did I lose one? Oh, it fell down here. I was about to be really mad. Now I'm not. Okay, so to help ensure future clearance and to just make sure that this is a good working system, I am moving the original siding tank down here. Rate is 6, rate is 6. Everything is going as expected. Clear that. Water capacity in all of these are still good. Okay, next step is to connect up these. So that force this one upwards, connect it there. That is our water supply. Now, the only question left is if throughput through a pipe of that diameter is good enough. I'm thinking yes. So, thus ends our water shortage. Finally. After all this work, we have successfully restored peace and order to the galaxy. We have managed once and for all to be accosted by a random zombie that I think is downstairs. Whatever, I don't care about downstairs zombies. We have persevered on this day, and we have refined the factory. We have not done anything new or particularly fancy. The factory is basically as it was before. One could argue that we've slightly improved the amount of steam we're making, but that's really it. This was a day of maintenance and refinement, and I'm happy about that. Because through all we've done, we've made things neat, orderly, and it feels easier to use. And that's a really important thing when you're one lone person in a massive factory. That everything just sort of functions and works and is good and is nice. And this is good and nice. I'm very happy with it. This path is now clean. The siding tank and the boilers and the big pipe works are mostly out of the way. This area is opened up. Our blast furnaces are now back here. Our factory went from being big and intimidating to a nice, smooth, well-designed little machine. Let us celebrate with a good bit of food. Lovely. I think I'm going to call it there. I'm going to get back in the habit of reasonably timed streams. I may just have to fight against the urge and actually maybe start streams earlier so they can go longer. I don't know. But yeah, good stuff today. No progress, but it feels like progress will be smoother now. What's that dough doing in there? Alright, I think I partitioned this dough separately so I can make pies out of it later. Sounds like something I would have chosen to do. Fantastic. Let's take our misc block, fill that up with our materials, and let's close things up by overlooking the factory as a whole, particularly this part that we just got today. The beautiful thing. Maybe this is the start of me not using just pure walls for stream openings, and I actually use like an overview shot of the factory. That'd be nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm Exception. This isn't TV. Have a good day and good night.